Remember these guys? Feel old yet? Even if you're not an old snail, I'm sure you will recognize these guys in one way or another. If not, what are you, a rock? If you're wondering what would happen if they do the fusion dance with Homelander, the result is no longer Ranger. Ranger reject? Go loser Ranger? I stick with no longer Ranger. Sounds cooler. No longer Ranger put you in a world where your favorite childhood superheroes are taking the idea of monetization and profiting a bit too much. Yes, it is another corrupt superhero story, which is a genre otherwise. This genre is closest concept to what if superhero were real and how would they behave. Do you think Captain America would be fine talking to women when he got out of ice, considering he was living in 1920s and 30s? Or Tony Stark suddenly say, damn, selling guns is bad. I'm sorry, woo. Hell no. Deadpool would be the same though, maybe a bit racist. 13 years ago, a floating spaceship spawned in the sky. What do they want? Cheeseburger. They are invaders that want to take over the world, but a group of brave individuals stands against this evil army. They are known as Dragon Rangers or Dragon Keepers. They have been fighting with these aliens for 13 years. Or are they? The war that has been going on for 13 years takes place every Sunday in front of a live audience, and it also streams on every platform. They sell merch and Rangers give autograph before the battle. You see where this is going, right? The aliens, they got defeated in the first year of the war. Rangers killed their bosses and enslaved the foot soldiers. Yes, enslaved. The foot soldiers, aka fighters, are semi-immortals. They are forced to pretend to attack Earth every Sunday and of course get humiliated in front of the population for 13 years. That sounds like if the boys and District 9 had a threesome with Power Rangers. So who's the main character? What's the actual plot? To put it simply, it's a glorified Among Us match. Hold on. Let me explain. The story puts you in the shoes of Fighter D, one of the invaders. During their battle with Rangers, our 1000th round, he snaps. He can't take this humiliation, so he goes off the script, but before anyone notices, the Red Rangers get rid of him quickly. They are immortal, so if they get destroyed, they will respawn back in their fortress. But this time, Fighter D manages to respawn somewhere else. But that's not all. Fighter's power is Mimic. He can shapeshift into anything. Person, object, you name it. So begins Fighter D's plan to get revenge on Rangers. How is he planning to take the fight to the Rangers? Well, it's so simple. Just infiltrate their base as a recruit and do a bit of a stabbing. Nothing can go wrong, right?
You are fucking.
The way the author put you in the world is very interesting. Not only the MC is not human, he doesn't even know how exactly society works, which leads to interesting interactions. The Rangers are not just bunch of superheroes. Each has their own departments, which those departments divide into different factions, and each one has to quote-unquote help society. And there is another department which is called Colorless Rangers. This is a department for people that are interested in the Ranger Corps who get recruited and have to pass an extremely hard exam to be in one of the Rangers squadron and eventually be a Ranger. So yeah, they are not immortals and get replaced once they are old enough. Not all civilians believe in Rangers. Some are suspicious of their activities, but they are either called delusional or get silenced. But that's just the tip of iceberg. The more you read, the more plot gets thicker, which is pretty unique for manga of this genre. A dark and sinister world like this needs chaotic and sinister characters. Let's go over some of them without spoiling too much. First of all, Fighter D. Well, he has enemies, as it's established in the very first pages of the manga. Fighters are not that strong. Who am I kidding? There are level 1 crook. So D gotta have to be careful about his fights. He has to avoid fighting at all costs. Or fight smart, like very smart, or easy. D has 2.4 brain cells for his entire existence. He knows only fighting, but now he has to not fight. He has to pretend he has no enemies while he's among the enemies for the sake of his comrades and his revenge, which I find it very refreshing for a main character to go through these changes. Another point I want to mention is the story is not black and white, it's gray. What I do mean is no one is a real hero here. Everyone has their own personal selfish agenda. Be it world domination, making a harem, reaching 10,000 subs till next week on YouTube, and shit like that. I know I just said there are no actual good guys here, but Sakurama is the Chad. He has what you call the personality of a shonen protagonist, with a great sense of justice, and also, he's not ignorant of the corruption in the Rangers Corps. That's why he's aiming to fix it. He's what you call the best boy. Not going to spoil you anything, but Fighter F is the GOAT. halt. I'm not sure about you, but my yandere radar is tingling and my nuts are... When I started this manga, I expected it to follow the super OP protagonist trend. I was wondering when he is going to find a super OP weapon called Dragon Guac Guac 1000, start making friends, then go around and kill the rangers with the power of friendship. I'm at chapter 46 and he is still the same, at least based on the raw power. He made friends along the way, or is he just deceiving them, or just pretending to be their friend, just like Aina Koji. The fights are mostly one-sided and Fighter D always has to use the brain power, like using unconventional techniques. For example, he's facing one of the Ranger Corps soldier and he starts throwing acid come at him, and what does he do? Shapeshift into a tree stump. It's all about deception and deceiving the enemy because he can't fight directly. Something else that surprised me was the lack of gore, which is not a bad thing. I just get tired when some manga uses gore too much. For a series that is compared to The Boys, I was going in ready to see some gory shit, but there's not that much in it. Don't get me wrong, it's not like your typical shonen that no one dies no matter what. Characters die, even the ones you might like, and this gives a story the suspense that no one is safe, even the main character. A quick question, can you guess who the author is? I'll give you 2 seconds. It's Harubanegi, and if that name doesn't ring a bell, let me clean your bell for you. He's the mind behind Quintessential Quintuplet. This is probably what happened in his office after he finished the Quints. Great work by me. Best Girl won, as it was intended, so what's next? It is amazing to see someone goes from making a story about cute anime girls to this. In a good romance, the story is character driven and flows with the character dynamics, and these elements are here. You can see how he used his experience from romance genre to write some of these characters. He probably puts a lot of thoughts behind each character, and each one of them matters to the plot, no matter how insignificant you think they are. Alright boys and gals, time to give you the exciting news that the manga is getting an anime adaptation, which is probably will air next year. I did a little bit of a digging but couldn't find anything about which studio is making it. It's getting directed by Sato Keiichi and he was the director behind Inuyashiki. I haven't watched that, but from the clips I've seen here and there, it's going to be BAM! They did release a trailer 6 months ago. I know it's a trailer, we can't judge that much, but if they are making the anime with the same art style as the trailer, I'm going to finna bust the night. I've been mid-riding the manga throughout all this video, so let me tell you about some of its flaws. The only one I noticed is the pacing, and it's not as bad as the One Piece anime. The introduction arc was pretty short and well done, but the arc after that, White Dragon Nest arc or the Among Us arc, is taking too long. Overall, it's a very unique manga, very interesting world building, and don't forget banger character writing. This time, I decided to change up my usual rating, so it's going to be something like this. Story 10 out of 10, art style 7.5, it's good but doesn't make me go wow. Character write 9 out of 10, overall score 8.5 out of 10. So if you like dark action manga with spicy characters, this one is for you. And how about you comment what you think of this manga if you read it already, and like and subscribe. If this video gets 1000 likes, I'll do it.